Thank you for joining us. I'm Mallory Sofaste along with Kelly Swoop on this primary election day.
Yeah, some of the big races include Baltimore Mayor, U.S. Senate, and a few House races. We have live team coverage tonight on those major races, and we begin with WMER2 News' Ashley McDowell live in Northeast Baltimore. Ashley, a few polling places in the city had a rough start.
That's right, Kelly. While poll places opened at 7 this morning, that wasn't the case for every location. Some spots faced some technical issues, and now with the rain putting a damper on things, it is leaving some people still eager out to vote, but a little damper on the situation. It was a bit of a rocky start to casting votes at Graceland Park, O'Donnell Heights Elementary Middle School in Baltimore City.
People couldn't vote until like 9:30 in the morning, which puts us 2 hours behind.
Although the site had the proper number of ballots and election judges, the Baltimore City Board of Elections arrived at 8:17 and found there was a problem.
It's literally just the router for the poll book, which was the main issue, to make sure that we could actually find the voter, verify that they're here, and issue them, the correct ballot, but also, if need be, provisional if they're not to this precinct.
Terrence Threet Jr. with the Baltimore City Board of Elections says the router had to be replaced along with the official okay that it was working, and voting didn't start until 9:18 this morning. But that didn't stop Ed Mangala. At 89, he says it's an obligation for everyone.
Well, I think everybody should exercise their right to vote. I think it should almost be mandatory.
Recalling his first time voting,
Probably Eisenhower.
He's been doing it ever since and gives words of encouragement to those who aren't practicing this right as a U.S. citizen.
I think they should. They should be motivated in some way to vote. Maybe people that are connected with voting go out there and see them personally.
Now, Threet says some people thought the sample ballots were the actual mail-in ballots, in which case he says they reached out to those people to let them know. Now, they have until 8 this evening to cast their vote, either postmarked by mail or going to their polling location. In Baltimore City, Ashley McDowell, WMER2 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Ashley. Police were called to a polling site at Johnny Cake Elementary School in Catonsville today. According to a poll worker, a voter made a threat regarding the election judges. The building was not evacuated.
One of the biggest races we are following tonight is the race for the Senate race between Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and Congressman David Trone. Expected to be a pretty tight contest.
WMER2 News' Jeff Hager has been in a polling place for us in Park Heights in Northwest Baltimore, and he is live with the latest on some of these races tonight. Jeff?
Well, you were talking about David Trone, and he was only going to make 2 stops on primary election day here in Baltimore. And, of course, one of them's here at Cross Country Elementary and Middle School in Park Heights. There's a reason for that. This is historically the busiest polling place in Park Heights, but the second busiest has been shut down for now and is temporarily housed here. 2 of the busiest in Northwest Baltimore, all in one place. And while primary elections typically don't draw voters out the way a general might, certainly here we have seen something different. Poll workers hardly getting a break throughout the day. On a separate note, we talked to city voters as they were going in and out of the poll, and I alluded to this earlier, but now we can actually hear from them as they talk about the number one issue on their minds, public safety.
We don't go out after dark. City is not safe.
So for all this talk about improvement, you're not buying it?
No, not buying it. But you have to do it at the polls like I did, and I won't say who I voted against or for. Please, people, come out and vote.
I say the safety. It's the safety of people. I'm afraid to go out at night, and I live in the Pikesville area, and there's too much. There's too much drugs. There's just things that have to be, and gangs. It has to be. It has to come to a stop.
And certainly races at every level. The mayor's race and the council race is affecting that immediately, the public safety issue here in the city, as well as we mentioned Trone earlier and also Brooks, even Larry Hogan, all looking at Ben Cardin's seat. which will have implications that go all the way to Washington, D.C. at a national level. So if there was ever a time to get out and vote in a primary, this would be it. The polls will be open for another 2 hours or so, and if you're in line at 8 o'clock, you'll still be able to vote. The rain has let up. No excuses. Get out, cast your ballots. Reporting live in Northwest Baltimore, Jeff Hager, WMAR2 News.
Okay, you heard him. No excuses, and we have a lot of those polling places covered tonight. We're staying in Baltimore.
That's right. We're going to take you to Roland Park now, where WMAR2 News' Jack Watson joins us live from. How's the turnout been there so far, Jack? Lots of folks saying it was a little light today in terms of turnout.
Certainly, Kelly, but much better since the workday ended and the rain is subsiding a little bit, at least in our part of Baltimore City. We are in Roland Park off Roland Avenue. This is St. David's Church. You can see the lawn signs over here, some campaign folks as well. This is Roland Park again. A lot of folks are walking to the polls at this neighborhood polling site. The contest on the minds of many here, of course, the race for Baltimore mayor. And tonight I will be reporting live from the Sheila Dixon campaign headquarters, the former mayor of Baltimore mounting her third campaign for mayor in as many election seasons. Polling showed Dixon and Mayor Scott very close. I asked a few voters here what their top issues are, and one new mom told me this.
Crime rates in Baltimore is of particular interest, especially now that we have a little one. But overall, we want everyone in the city to have, the same sort of safety that, we feel we have in Roland Park.
Back live here in Roland Park, and this is setting up to be an exciting finish in the race for Baltimore's top job. The polls close in just a couple hours, and we are live here in Roland Park. Jack Watson, WMAR2 News.
All right, Jack, thank you. And we touched on this a bit earlier, that Senate race. It could have national implications depending on the winner. And it's between Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and Congressman David Trone. And it is expected to be tight.
A very high spending contest in terms of money that was spent. WMAR2 News' Xavier Wary will be covering the Alsobrooks campaign for us tonight. But for now, Xavier, you've been at a polling place in Severna Park throughout the day. How have things been for you there?
Kelly and Mallory, over the past hour, things have picked up just a little bit. We know some people have been getting off of work, but it's still been pretty slow for the most part. And as you all mentioned, this is expected to be a pretty tight race. And also, Brooks has received endorsements from Governor Wes Moore, the Washington Post, and various U.S. senators. Also, Brooks is also looking to make some history. She could become Maryland's first elected black senator, but it's going to be tough because the winner is expected to face former Governor Larry Hogan.
I do like what I've seen with Angela Alsobrooks. However, at the end of the day, if you don't, me being a registered Democrat, if you don't want a Republican to take the seat, I think that Trone probably has the best chance.
Also, Brooks will be making her way through various polling locations up until 7:30 tonight. And Fred and I, that is my photographer, we are going to be heading over to her election party in Greenbelt beginning at 8:15. Back to you.
All right, Xavier, thank you. Now we want to take you over to Harford County, where voters hit the polls early this morning.
Yeah, we actually caught up with a couple of folks at Prospect Mill Elementary School in Bel Air. One voter stressed the importance of the state representative and congressional races and making sure that your voice is heard on every level.
This election is pretty important as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot at stake, so I want to come out and show my support for my candidates.
Another voter said it's really important to honor the military members who died fighting for our right to democracy. Polls are open until 8 o'clock tonight. Once they close, we will bring you updates on the air and on our website at WMAR2news.com/election results.